Hi, I'm attorney Dave Maldonado, a seasoned litigator with over a decade of experience in Montana. Have you been injured in a car accident? If so, remember insurance companies want to give you as little money as possible. There's a reason why they have the biggest buildings in the largest cities. Don't let big insurance bully you. Visit BigSkyDefender.com today to see how I can help you get fair compensation for your injuries. The consultation's free and the fight's real.
We'll begin with your opening statement.
Oh man, you guys, what a game, what a run. This group is they're just a bunch of fighters, they're a bunch of warriors, and these last three games, you got to defend to win in March, and we've said it all year long, our defense is going to dictate how far this team can go. And these last three games, this group defended at a high level. Just beyond proud of what they've done and what they've accomplished, and we're not done yet.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open up to any questions you guys have for our players.
Hi, Jordan Coulter, Nuanez, Skyline Sports. I mean, that's one of the great games of your career. So, I mean, what's it like playing like that in this moment and knowing you're going dancing?
Man, it was all or nothing. Had to sell out my senior year, so I had to give it all I had. I want to go dancing.
Kahlaijah, when the clock is winding down and it's kind of sinking in, I mean, you guys were so all business in this entire game, but there was a moment where you came off the court, it was like a minute left. When did it first start sinking in for you? When the confetti's flying, what's that moment like for you?
It's very surreal. You know, it's a true blessing. I've been saying since we got here, it's already written. It's already written. Whatever's happened is already written. So for us to come out and be fighting every single game and knowing, just because we may be a higher seed doesn't mean we have to just lay down and rest. We had to come every game, and that's what we did to every opponent. And I'm just glad we're here in this moment right now. It's crazy.
Jordan, when NAU was here a few minutes ago, they said that their plan was to really shut down Kahlaijah and Isne. So for you to come in and have the game that you did, what does that mean, sort of being that person to step up when the other team is really focusing on the other players?
Well, as a senior, I had to step up for both of them. They weren't getting shut down, but they're trying to take it away, and so I had to do what I can to help out my team.
Hey Jordan, it looked like you had a lot of family and friends here, sitting in the stands, just right in front, right behind the bench. What was it like to have them cheering you on, especially in this game, in this moment?
All the way in Idaho, for them to come out is very it's kind of emotional because I come from a background that we don't have a lot, but for them to come out, it was just very heartwarming for me.
Jordan, there's kind of been a narrative around this team that it's a two-man show, as you kind of alluded to. Did that feed into any motivation tonight?
No, not at all. I know we all have our strengths, and we brought it into our coaching staff, and he had the blueprint. And, KD and Izzy both produce on the offensive side, and for us, it's easy. It's an inside-outside game, so they produce, and then we hit our shots and do what we can to help them out.
Any more questions for our players? Thank you both. We'll now turn it over to Coach.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Hi, Mark. You guys were so unbelievably consistent this year. I mean, how were you able to do that, and how important was that to your success?
You mean just over the course of the season?
Just over the course of the season. Today was sort of a microcosm of that, especially led by your point guard.
Yeah. It's been an unbelievable journey, you guys. We have 9 new players. We only had 3 kids that played for us last season, and so we knew what system we wanted to run from when we got hired, and we tried to assemble it and get the talents to complement each other, but you never know until you're in the trenches. And so we felt like we had the pieces could fit, but you never know. And you guys, this team, and it's led by our 3 seniors, KD and Jordan and Kaylin, from the get-go. They have just been incredibly mature, completely unselfish, bought in all the way. But this kid, Jordan right here, she's the heart and soul and the spirit of our program. She's been at Sac State for 4 years. Kid had a 3-game winning season. She had COVID. She had a coaching change. And now she's getting to go dancing. She's seen it all. And she is an absolute fighter, a warrior, unselfish, humble. I mean, It's just amazing. I'm so happy for everyone, but what this kid's been through in her college career, I'm glad that she gets to go dance in her senior season.
You've been to the NCAA tournament before, but what's it feel like now to do it as a head coach?
Oh, every opportunity that you get to play in March Madness is special. And each one of those seasons are completely different journeys. I am so thankful for each opportunity that I got to play in March Madness. I know how hard it is to get there. And it's an experience of a lifetime. And I'll cherish this one just like I cherished every other one. And I'm just excited we get to keep going to battle together. This group is tight and it's a family. I think you got to see that over the last 3 days.
Coach, yesterday after the semifinal game, I asked you if you needed to change anything after all your starters scored your points. And here we are today, and you kind of shut me up because you did the exact same thing today with 0 bench points. Just, when you're only putting out 7 players and five of them are basically doing all your scoring, does it make it a little easier just, knowing who you get to roll out and sort of tighten your rotations?
Well, it's worked pretty well so far this season for us, so we're not really changing it up. But truly, we have a scheme, we have a system, but we empower all these kids offensively to be aggressive, and they know what a good shot is. And we're at the point we've kind of seen every defensive coverage in our pick and roll, and these kids know how to figure out what the defense is giving us each night. And today, they almost dared Jordan to beat him and Kaylin to beat him, and those are elite level shooters. We're 5th in the country in 3-point shooting, and so if they want to play that game where they're going to allow our shooters to have clean looks, we could score at a high level. And so I'm just proud of everyone. It's surreal right now, to be honest.
And playing against a team in NAU that beat you twice, some pretty close games, and they won in overtime as well. What kind of added motivation is that to your players, knowing that they got the best of you twice, and in the game that matters most, that they want to show up and get the better of them here?
Those thoughts don't really even go through your mind. You got one game for 40 minutes for a chance to play in March Madness. They're a great program, unbelievable coaching staff. And so we didn't even worry about those past games. Those are learning experiences is what they are. No different than all the other games. And so we were locked in on what we need to do to give ourselves a chance to punch our ticket. And we delivered.
Hey, Coach, in just your second season as the head coach at Sac State, you've delivered the first Big Sky title in program history. Going into March and next season, what can we all expect?
It's hard for me to even turn the page. I want to keep the focus on this group, but our staff came here because the sky's the limit at Sac State. It really is. We're only in year 2. We took over a 3-win team, and so I think this is just a freight train that keeps rolling.
And then, you were able to hold the best offensive team in the conference, at least in the regular season, to just 4 points in the second quarter. What did you see during that second quarter, and what were you guys doing well?
Yeah. They're so good in transition. You got to try to take away their transition. You got to take care of the ball so they can't get out into transition, and you got to box them out. They do a phenomenal job crashing the glass, and so they missed some shots. We were fortunate. Our kids knew what we were trying to do. I think we executed at a pretty high level. To hold those guys to 63 is a really good effort by our team. But some nights you just get fortunate and they miss some good shots, and we were able to go get the rebound.
Coach, first round exit for you guys last year, and then all of a sudden just shooting up. Was there a moment in this season or in this tournament where you sat down and thought, oh, we might have something here?
Yeah. Last year, you guys, thank you for bringing that up, but I'm so grateful for last year's group of kids. They laid the foundation. We inherited a group of just hard workers, and we're all bought in, and we were able to springboard off that season. And so I'm so grateful for last year's team, and then we added a couple more pieces and upgraded some talent, and now we're here. I think we're 25-7, And we're not done yet. I believe this team's going to be a tough out in the NCAA tournament. I believe we have one of the best playmakers in college basketball. And she's delivered in 32 games. And I have no doubt, no matter who our opponent is, she'll be ready to play. And but we're balanced. Izzy's a low down there in the block, and those guys are surrounded by elite-level shooters. And so I'm excited to keep competing with these guys.
And then in a year where the top 2 seeds were so coveted, you guys win a Big Sky regular season championship and somehow end up at the 3, have to play 3 days in a row. How was that? Was that just awesome getting to play 3 days in a row? Did you kind of sense the fatigue from your players, or? I
didn't know. We don't play a deep bench. The first 2 days I wasn't worried about. I was worried if we could get to day 3, would it catch up to us? And you just hope these youngsters with the adrenaline and what was at stake, that they would fight through it. I know KD, her legs were cramping up in today, and so we got her a breather. She got to come out for a couple minutes, but I was worried about it. But this is a resilient bunch, man, and they found a way to get it done. And even some kids, Benta, she hadn't played much this tournament, and she stepped up and gave us 12 good minutes today.
How do you think this league and this tournament prepared you for the NCAA tournament then?
This league's tough, you guys. There's a wide range of styles of play. NAU is elite and plays fast. And so it gets you prepared with your transition defense and what they're doing schematically. Idaho is a 5-out with shooters everywhere that you got to be able to guard. Portland State runs a whole bunch of pick and roll stuff. Just in this 3-game tournament, you've had a wide variation. But this league has great coaches, has great players, and I feel like we've seen it all, and we'll be ready for whoever that opponent is.
In just a few minutes, small business owners can now sign up for Blackfoot Communication Services. Whether it's dependable voice options or internet services, sign up simply by visiting blackfootsmallbusiness.com. Click on the services you wish, select an installation time and date, and you're done. Small business services at the touch of your fingers. Connect to more with Blackfoot Communications and blackfootsmallbusiness.com.
Congratulations to Sac State. They played a phenomenal game. You know, we had a game plan of coming in and really trying to shut down 0 and 24, and their other 2 kids stepped up and had phenomenal games. So they put together a 40-minute game plan that really worked for them. And unfortunately, we didn't have our best stuff tonight. But this is a very good team, and I'm so proud of everything that they have accomplished this season. And we're very hopeful that our season's not done, and we'll be able to go on and finish pretty well, hopefully, in a postseason tournament.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open up to any questions you guys have for our 2 players.
Hi, Emily Coulter-Nuanez from Skyline Sports. What was the biggest challenge Sac State presented you guys today?
Honestly, they just came out hot. They got momentum early, and it's really difficult to put a stop to a team that's that good offensively. And I think we did a really good job fighting back, but the hole we dug in the beginning was a little bit too deep for us to get all the way out with the time we did have left.
And Regan, Kahlaijah Dean's so good off the dribble. Natabo is such a beast down low. But when their shooters are shooting, how much does that, how tough does it make them to guard?
It's really tough. Our game plan was to double the post, and so we go to double, and then they're hitting their shots. So, hats off to them. They played a really good game. They were all hitting. They all came to play. So, it sucks, but they deserve that win.
Regan, I know we talked about this the other day about you coming back for this extra year and how much of a big commitment that was. But even in after today, what would you say is your main takeaway? And would you say you have any regrets at all during your time here?
No, I have no regrets at all. I'm really, really, really happy I came back. I got to play with a whole new team, a whole new coaching staff. It's just fun. It was so different from the 4 years I was here before, so it was kind of like a whole new experience. And I mean, it's cool that we're old, but we're a young team, and we were still able to get to the championship game, still able to get first in conference. So we accomplished a lot together as a team this year.
Emily, you were the main focal point on offense today. Even when the team is struggling, trying to make a huge comeback like that, what is that like, sort of being the hot hand and being the player that I guess every one of your teammates sort of defers to?
I mean, that's a responsibility that, I'm more than happy to take on. We needed someone to score, and if I'm able to provide that, then I'm going to do that for the team. I mean, it's a shout-out to my teammates. It's just a testament to how much they trust me and my ability. So, yeah.
Hey, Emily. So going into your senior year next year, what do you really foresee as a player going into next year?
Just kind of continuing to expand and develop my role as not only a scorer, but as a defender and as a leader for my team, both on and off the court. I mean, I've got 1 year left after this one, and I mean, I want to make the most of it for sure. So we've got some really talented new kids coming in. We have a really talented group of core players returning. Obviously, some big shoes to fill with the people that are leaving this year, but I'm excited. I think next year will be good, and I'm looking forward to see how I continue to grow.
Any more questions for our players? Great, thank you both. We'll now open it up to any questions you guys may have for Coach.
Loree, they have so many different ways they can hurt you. I mean, how difficult is it to game plan against them? And then when they're stepping out and making three-point shots, even if they're contested, I mean, how difficult are they to guard?
Yeah, they're tough. Obviously they've had the two kids putting up big numbers consistently all year, and it's one of those things when you have a championship game, you got to bring your best stuff for 40 minutes, and they definitely did. I thought that we did for 30 minutes. I felt like we lost the game in the second quarter. To have a 4-point scoring, and we got great looks at the rim. I mean, I felt like we had some pretty close high percentage looks that just didn't fall. And that was a tough, because you look at the first, second, third, fourth quarter breakdown, and the second quarter is where they kind of created that space from us. But it's tough. I mean, they knocked down big shots. We missed some tough ones, and that's kind of how it goes when you're playing for a championship.
It's been fun to watch you build this thing. So, I mean, what can you say about this group, particularly the seniors like Regan, who sort of were in on the ground floor and now, back-to-back championship games?
Yeah, Regan was a pivotal piece in turning this program around. She was kind of that cornerstone, that foundation. And it has allowed us to bring in some really talented players the last couple of years. And, I'm excited. I mean, the addition of Montana Altrogi this year was huge. Just her leadership, her, experience. I'm bummed for her that, kind of the end was tainted with an injury, but she helped get us here. The numbers that she was putting up, she's a second-team all-conference player, so she helped to get us to this place. And she's going to be really tough to replace. And same thing with Regan. Sanjana has been a awesome teammate for 4 years. She's been a pleasure to have on the program. But you look at the team that we have, and we have a lot of talent coming back. We have, for the end of the season, 4 starters coming back. We have some really great bench players, freshmen this year that got a lot of experience, and then we have a very talented incoming class. So we're excited. We know that the future is really bright. We expect to be back here again next year. And we're just going to continue to battle and have a great offseason to develop the young players to get them ready. But Regan's going to be tough to fill as that point guard, as that floor general. So we have a couple players who will battle for that spot, and it'll be exciting to see who kind of comes out ahead on that to take the reins from the point guard position.
Loree, were fast break points and sort of the lack of them? You had 5, they had 2. Was that sort of something that you really wish you maybe looked at more of before the game, or maybe something that you maybe made an adjustment for?
No, that was our game plan, but you have to get stops to be able to get transition points. Like, that's where we have a lot of success, is getting stops. And when they're knocking down almost every shot they take, almost 50% of them, it's tough to get that transition game. And I felt like as we would start to get momentum, they'd hit a big shot and it'd take the wind out of their sails. And then, we'd get a few up and down, and then they'd hit a big shot. And so it was just tough to get into the flow that we wanted and the pace that we wanted. And kudos to them. They were able to kind of deflate the momentum that we had, that is our strength in our up-tempo offensive system.
And then, getting to the same exact spot 2 years in a row, what is the message to the team now, especially to those players who were on that team last year? Does it feel any different, or does it feel just as or any more painful that it's been 2 years in a row?
It's tough. I think the young ones, they got so much experience this year, and no one expected us to be here. We were picked fourth. So for us to win a conference championship and then to play in the championship, we knew it. We knew how good this team was, but we also knew the ups and downs of having a lot of youth on the team, even though it seems like we have experience. You look at it, the Twins are eligibility-wise sophomores. We have Fatu, who didn't play a lot last year, who came in and played really well, but she was really kind of a freshman as far as her minutes and experience went. So it was just fun to see the young players develop and kind of come into their own as we continue to build throughout the season, and we're really excited about all the experience they've gotten for the future.
Yesterday... yesterday, Sacramento was able to sort of do something similar to Portland State, where Portland State just had these long stretches without being able to score. But Portland State, it sort of went through the entire game. What was really the message around halftime for you to get the team back on track a little bit?
I kind of said I don't quite recognize our team right now in the first half, the team that came out, because it was we were playing a little bit timid. I felt like we played with probably more nerves than I thought that we would come out with, just having had half the team already been in this position. And they hit a few big shots to kind of get their nerves down. And I felt like we dug ourselves a little bit of a hole, but not one that we even doubted that we could get out of if we played the way we were capable of playing. And I felt like we showed a lot of really great stretches of that in the second half, but again, like, they stepped up and they knocked down shots, and every time we kind of inched a little bit closer, they would hit a big shot. And so they did the necessary things to maintain their lead and end up putting the stamp on their victory.
Our final question for Coach.
Specific and broad question, Loree. What's next in the immediate future for NAU women's basketball, and also then what do you think is sort of next for you guys as a whole? What do you need to kind of get over the hump as a program?
Like I said, we're hopeful that we're not done. There's a great postseason tournament that we're looking forward to getting the invite to. And hopefully we can go out and play a few more games this year and get even more experience for our young kids. And then, we just continue to build on this. We take the lessons learned and have a great off season and really focus on player development, and then get our new kids in and kind of start building that team. And, each team, I think, has its own character, its own brand, its own team culture. And so I feel like we made a big switch in our team culture to where it's a really solid group that is really all working towards one goal, and we had that this year, and we're very excited to continue to add to that for the future.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Town